Pastor Steve Perry, lead pastor, Word Encounter Church, right here in the wonderful city of Warren, Michigan, which is also known as Metropolitan Detroit. I am so thankful that you're here to join us on this last day of this week for our Friday devotional for We in Three. I want to encourage you today that if we said something to be a blessing to you, to make a donation to our Cash App at $ Word We Church 2019. That's $ We Church 2019. So this week we kind of dealt with a little bit, but I want to first off invite you all to our Sunday service, We at 3. Join us as we're continuing our sermon series, Game Over. And on this Sunday, we're going to be especially preaching on Game Over Myself. But as we begin to conclude from last week's sermon, we talked a little bit yesterday about prayer. But then we're going to peruse down to the 25th and the 26th verse of Mark the 11th chapter. In the 25th verse and the 26th, the scripture simply says, if you cannot forgive your brother, then your Father in heaven cannot forgive you. I'm a text preacher, and so when I look at stuff in the text, I don't try to take it out by itself. I try to look at the entire text. And so something stood out to me on Sunday as I began to preach this thing. And the question I asked myself, I said, why is it God is so big on forgiveness? And what I paid attention to is that in the 20th verse, he had begun to talk about to have faith in God and to move mountains. And when you pray, believe that you receive. But I think Jesus was trying to get across to him is that if you cannot forgive somebody, the number one you think to make all this happen cannot happen because of the fear that you're dealing with because of unforgiveness. The psychologist would tell you that the thing that keeps us traumatized, fear-based, something that's fear-based, that's what trauma is. It's something that scares you to the point where it's in your members and it's in your beings. And what they will tell us is that trauma is the thing that allows us to keep on saying things to ourselves. What unforgiveness does, it keep on rehearsing what happened to us. And not only does it keep on rehearsing what happened, it keep on hurting us what we were saying to ourselves in the middle of this tragedy or in the middle of this trauma. And we go our entire lives because we've been traumatized by this. And so what unforgiveness looked like every opportunity you can to do something or to be a part of something, it kind of messes with that. And then what subsequently happened is that if we allow what hurt us to conquer us, what happens is that we start believing that people will support us. We stop believing that people will love us. And then when we do step out there, we're looking for something, and then it wind up being the same thing that hurt us over and over again. Watch this. When the scripture talks about that, I realized one thing, that unforgiveness, it has nothing to do with your enemy. It has nothing to do with who hurt you. Your unforgiveness has everything to do with your hope. The Bible lets us know in Hebrews, the 11th chapter, in the first verse, it says, now faith is the substance of something you're hoping for. Okay? If the devil can mess with what you're hoping for, you cannot believe God for anything. You cannot believe God for heaven, anything, because the devil strategically took all that away. So how that hurt you? You won't try a business deal because you're afraid. You're afraid to take the risk because of what happened to you. Listen, today on this Friday, I want you to just completely give it over to God. Listen, I ain't saying that forgiveness means the same thing as trust. And I'm for sure not saying that forgiveness means the same thing as reconciliation. But what I'm saying is that forgiveness means that you release it. You release it. And what you do with what you release is you give it over to God. And then you allow God to build you on broken pieces. Listen, I want you to take this. I want you to pray about it. I want you to just consider that for this weekend as you're going through this. This week, I want you to catch up with us. I'll see your face Sunday. I love you. Dr. T love you. The entire Word Encounter Church, we love you. I want to see you on Sunday. God bless you.